Hello, I'm here to do my vlog today. And today's theme, in honor of summer, is favorite water activity, scuba diving. So, in class, during one of the kind of arguments, we talked about whether trait theory versus development theory, which one was right, and kind of the arguments for and against each. So, after looking online and reading a little bit more about trait theory, it almost seems like it's not so much genetic features like we talked about, but it goes along with, McCrin and Costa talked about the big five, where extroversion, which is just kind of being sociable, high amounts of emotional expression, all that kind of good stuff. Second one is agreeableness. That has to do with trust. It has to do with kindness. It has to do with pro-social behaviors. The third one is conscientiousness. This goes on to talk about high levels of thought, organization, and attention to detail. Neuroticism, got it. Neuroticism talks about emotional stability, anxiety, irritability. That's the fourth one. And the fifth one talks about openness, imagination, insight. Those are the big five that kind of modern trait theorists have decided are the big factors. Now, in the book that we talked about, thank you, Seth. In the book, we talked about how the deans of men, they were more trait theorists, while deans of women were more developmental theorists. And in class, like I said, we talked about genetic theories. We kind of referenced them as traits. So we talked about things like jawline, height, eye color, smile, and symmetrical face. We talked about how, yes, you can't really do anything to change that. But the big question was, like how the deans of men brought it about, are deans of men born to be deans of men, or can they learn to be deans like the women kind of reference to? So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this vlog. I wanted to talk about whether we thought it was more developmental, or are you born with something? Do we think that not just deans, but anyone, are you born one way? Or can things like the environment, can things like nature and nurture, can those kind of change how you are? Can people become better extroverts? Can they become more emotionally stable? Does a point in their life actually have to do with it? Or someone born with one imagination and they kind of keep that imagination as they go? I personally think that it is more on the developmental side. I think that you can change things as you grow. That's the point of education, in my opinion. That's why we're doing this. But I'll leave the rest up to you. So the big key question after all of my rambling, are we more on the side of the deans of men from our book? Or are we on the side of the deans of women who believed it was more developmental versus the men's trait theory? Thank you. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend and go get wet.